Hi, everyone. Welcome to what is going to be, I guess, the first and final episode of the Cosmic Classroom. As you all know, I have changed from the Interested Reader podcast into the Cosmic Classroom was going to be the next iteration, the next direction that I was going to take. But it turns out that I'm not going to be doing that, so I just wanted to give a final episode to thank everyone for their support and thank you for being an interested reader. So, first of all, I'm just going to jump right into the quote of the day. This comes from Proverbs chapter 3, verses 5 and 6. Trust in the Lord with all your heart and do not lean on your own understanding. In all your ways acknowledge him, and he will make straight your paths. And this is something that I am going to have at the forefront of my mind going forward, because I've chosen kind of a different path. It's very different from the Interested Reader and the Cosmic Classroom. And I'm not sure how it's going to work out or what's going to happen with it, but I've decided to the best of my ability, not rely on myself and my own understanding, but to truly trust in God that he will direct me in this new path. So, if you've been following me, you know that, again, I went from the Interested Reader. It was kind of it's the alternative sorts of physics and astronomy that I love to teach and to learn about. And I was going to include some numerology, just some weird metaphysics and all the woo-woo stuff that people don't want to talk about, but I do. And I love doing that. I love teaching astronomy. I still love all of that. But it got to be to the point where it was kind of difficult. It just seemed kind of all over the place. So I figured, well, why don't I narrow it down, get some focus, and I'll do this podcast called The Cosmic Classroom, which was really just going to be teaching astronomy. That was kind of going to be the main focus, doing little lessons, because I love teaching. I just don't want to be in a traditional classroom with a very strict curriculum, because there's so much more out there than just a textbook and a curriculum. And I love that. That appeals to me very much. And I thought that's the most natural thing for me because I love astronomy. I love teaching. I'm just going to combine them and do it. But I was really dreading creating content. I never even got an episode of The Cosmic Classroom. I have some outlines and some stuff that I was going to do. But anytime I sat down to do anything, it felt like there was so much resistance. Like I just did not want to do it. There was so much dread, just like, I just don't want to do it. And so that tells me that something is wrong when there's that much resistance to something. It was like I was clocking in to yet another job that I didn't really want to do, felt like I had to do it because that's what I'm supposed to do. So I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to do something completely different. Like, let's just stop with all that and try to figure out what is it that I really want to do. So I've done a couple courses and personality tests that are supposed to help with your calling, kind of help you figure out what you're supposed to do, your natural talents and all this. And I've always said I don't have any talent. I'm not good at anything. Except for teaching. That's the one thing that I will say that I am good at. Whether or not anybody else thinks so, I don't know. I've been told in the past, so it's enough that I'm like, okay, maybe I actually am decent at teaching. But I've always felt like I just don't have really any talent, or I don't really have anything to offer. So that's always been kind of difficult for me to figure out, well, what else would I do? So for me, there's these paths to success. If you're watching, if you've got this on YouTube or on a screen, there's the easy way and the hard way to success. And the visual here is the easy way is like straight line through the maze, and the hard way is the most longest circuitous roundabout way you can possibly think of. Okay, both still end up in success, but which way are you going to go? The easy way, or are you going to go the hard way? And for me, for most of my life, it's always been the hard way. It's just how I go. I don't know. If it's easy, I just tend to I just miss it. I'm not trying to. I just end up doing things a very long and difficult way. And honestly, I think some of that might be the fact that I am relying on my own understanding and not just trusting in God to direct me. When I do things my own way, it gets complicated and messy and I lose direction, I lose course, don't know what I'm doing, have to kind of start back over and change direction and try again and do everything again and again. And I'm thinking that if I stop leaning on my own understanding and rely on God, as it says in Proverbs, He will make my path straight. And the straight path is the easy way. So that's what I'm trying to do. And so I'm trying to figure out, as I'm going through these, whatever you want to call them, I don't know, calling courses to get you, to help you figure out what you're supposed to be doing, your purpose, your calling. I can't ever answer these questions. They're like, what do you naturally do? What do people come to you for help with naturally? And I'm like, no one comes to me for anything. No one asks me anything. I don't really have anything to offer people. I've always wanted to be the person that could help people as far as like starting their dreams. I would love to be able to provide money for people. Like, here, what do you need to start a business? What do you need to get your book written? What do you need to do this or that? Here's money, go do. And stop having that as the barrier. But, that's not really I don't know. I never considered it to be anything special. So I'm trying to figure out, what is it that I do? What is it that people come to me for? I don't know. No one asks me anything. No one comes to me for advice. I still have all the problems. I feel like I haven't really had any success in my life. I'm still dealing with a lot of struggles that never seem to resolve. So how am I going to help anyone? And then I was talking with my brother a few weeks ago, and I just asked him, what would he be doing if he could do anything that he wants? Because he likes his job and he's good at it, but I know it's not what he would do. Given the chance, you have millions and millions of dollars, what would you do? And he told me, like, he had an answer, like straight up, like he knew, he had it exactly what he would do. And so I started thinking, okay, well, so how can you get that to happen? Like, why aren't you doing that? What can we do? Have you thought about doing this? And then it occurred to me that I've had that same conversation with like 4 or 5 people in the past couple months. I realized that what I love doing is asking people, what is your dream life? What would you be doing if you could do anything in the world? And then countering all of their obstacles, because everyone always has a reason why they can't do it. I don't have time. I don't have money. I just can't. It's too hard. Whatever. No one would buy from me. No one would come to me. And I love trying to solve all of those problems for them. It's like, okay, I get time, but you can do little things that only take like 15 minutes. Money, of course, you don't want to just quit your job and just start from nothing. So do a little bit here and there. You may have to, most of us have things in our life that we could probably cut out financially to save up some money. I know I go to the coffee shop a lot, and I'm buying, a coffee drink for me and my husband and maybe some sort of a pastry or snack. I mean, we end up spending easily $18 to $25 plus a tip. And we do that usually like once a week, sometimes depending on if we're both off of work, we might go a couple times a week. Or I might go once and then he goes once. I mean, it's like $40 a week sometimes that we're spending on coffee drinks. We could save that money, even if it was $40 a month. I mean, you do that for a couple months, you've got, $100 saved up to do something to help with your dream life, whatever that might be, buying a book, a course, getting some training. And so I'm trying to think of, what could you do? Okay, so you don't have much money, so do something that doesn't really require money. There's a lot of free software that you can maybe design a flyer or a short, like an ebook. You can self-publish ebooks for free. I'm not saying that these are things that are going to give people, overnight success, obviously, but they're things that they can do to start living this dream. And I love talking about this, and I love trying to get people to see that it is possible, that they can do this. They don't have to just sit and punch the time clock. Now, you may have to do that in addition to your dream, but because that's what I do now too. I don't necessarily love the job that I'm at. It's a good paying job. It's got good benefits, but it's not what I would do if I didn't have to. So I almost look at that as like that's kind of my payment for my time off. I get to do what I really love to do. I try to find things all the hobbies that you do, you kind of use your job to fund your activities outside of work. And I think that's the way you should approach your job, or like approaching doing your dream job. Don't quit what you're doing now. Don't make these huge, drastic changes. But you can do little things every day. So as I'm texting my brother, I'm realizing that this is what I love to do. And I've had this exact same conversation, and I love it. I get fired up when I start talking about it and trying to think of how can I overcome these problems that people think they have, why they can't do something. I love trying to make people see that, yes, you can do it. And not only that, but you should be doing it. So that's kind of the direction I'm going, very different from what I've been doing. But it's this quote here from Matthew chapter 5. And I'm going to read it here, so just bear with me. But it's one of my favorites, because this really is what I am hoping that I can get people to see. Matthew 5, verses 14 through 16. You are the light of the world, a city that is on a hill that cannot be hidden. Nor do they light a lamp and put it under a basket, but on a lampstand, and it gives light to all who are in the house. Let your light so shine before men that they may see your good works and glorify your Father in heaven. Now I see I've got some typos and some weird stuff in there, so I'm sorry about that. But this is what I want people to see, is that they have a light, and you don't just hide that light away. You are to let it shine and light up everybody else around you. And we all have it. So stop hiding that light. Stop putting your light away, saying, I can't, and money's a problem, time's a problem, whatever the problem is. Stop using that to hide your light. And that's what I want people to see. I want to make people understand, or to help them to see that they have that light in them and that they need to let it shine in some way. I understand not wanting to just quit the job you have because you have responsibilities. I do too. That's why I'm not quitting my job. At least not yet. I'm hoping that, eventually I can. But you still need to be doing little things. Like if you have this dream life that you want, you can do little things to make it happen in some way. Maybe not the way that you're thinking. Maybe you shouldn't lean on your understanding of how to make that happen. Maybe you trust in God to lead you. But in some small way, you can let your light come out and to shine. And that's what we need to be doing. I mean, we've got 8 billion people on this planet. That's like 8 billion candles. There shouldn't be darkness. So that's what I want to get people to do, is I want them to see the possibility of making their dream life come true. That they can do it, even if it's just one small step at a time. So that leads me to saying so long, and thanks for all the fish. If you are a fan of The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, that makes sense to you. I'm going to be ending The Interested Reader and the Cosmic Classroom. I'll not be doing anything else with them. The website for The Interested Reader will still be there if you want to contact me through that. You can still do that. I know there is at least one person who has contacted me through email, and I know I don't check my email very often for that account just because I've been doing all these other things. And I do apologize. I have not answered the email. But I very much appreciate your guys' support, and that you've watched some episodes. I appreciate the views, the comments, the likes. It means a lot to me. And I know I've got, I think 22-ish or so episodes. I have this list as 22. I don't know if that's actually accurate, because I feel like I miscounted. I thought I had like 25. I don't know. But anyway, I don't have a lot out there, but I know there are some of you that are listening, and I very much appreciate that. It means the world to me. And I would like for you to come follow me to the next step, but it's, like I said, it's very different from what I'm doing now, so I totally get it if it's not your thing. So I just wanted to say thank you to all of you who have listened, or if you've signed up for a newsletter, or if you've contacted me. Just thank you for listening. I very much appreciate it. It's meant a lot to me. So the next podcast, this is the next direction here that I'm going. The new podcast will be called Reinventing Life After 40. Practical steps for overthinkers to move from dreaming to doing. So in case you didn't know, I am over 40. So I know what it's like to kind of be, one of the big things that I struggle with is feeling like it's too late. I can't do anything because I'm over 40. It's too late for me to do anything. And that's just, I have to recognize that as being a lie. That is not true. You can do anything at any time. It's never too late. As God says, I am the God of all flesh. Is anything too hard for me? I'm probably paraphrasing that, so please don't think that I'm trying to misquote the Bible, but is anything too hard for God? If this is His will for me, is it too hard for Him to make it come true if I'm 40 or 50 or 60 years old? No, He can do anything whenever. So maybe I'm a little late to the party here. Maybe I should have done this whenever, but now is the time when I've finally figured it out, I guess. Or at least this is the path I'm going to try. Maybe this won't work either. I don't know. So this is where we're going. It's going to be about trying to take these small steps, getting people to see the possibility of being able to make their dream life come true, getting them to stop overthinking it, to stop thinking of all these problems, and giving people small steps that they can do to try to get them to get into that dream life. Like I said, it's not necessarily like a miracle cure. You're not going to be a millionaire overnight, but if you just need to start something and then you build momentum that way. And that's what I want to do. And I love doing that. And like I said, those are the conversations I've had with people over the past few months without even realizing it, that I'm just asking, because I just want to know, like, what do people want to do? Like, what would they be doing? Nobody that I know of really wants to be, at the 9 to 5 sort of job. I know a few people who do like it, actually. And that's fine. And that's great. But a lot of people don't. And so I'm like, why are you here then? And what else would you be doing? And why are you not doing it? So that's what the new podcast is going to be about. Just a few points here. If just again, in case you're interested in following along, if this might be something that you're interested in, the main things are things like moving from overthinking to action. Because I also have a big problem with overthinking, where I'm like, well, I don't know, should I do this? Should I do that? Like, what about this? What about this? Like, I just kind of become paralyzed with. I don't have the perfect plan laid out, so that means I can't do anything, and that means that you are permanently stuck wherever you are. You have to stop overthinking. You have to get past this idea that you have to have everything figured out. You don't need to have a perfect plan. You just need to take one step forward and then see what happens, and then take the next step, and then the next step, just one step at a time. And one last quote here from Ecclesiastes 3:1, "To everything there is a season, a time for every purpose under heaven." So this, to me, feels like this is just my time to quit doing the teaching, the astronomy podcast, and just go for this. I guess it's personal development. I don't know that it's actually coaching, but definitely a different direction for me, and I'm not really sure again what's going to happen from it, but I do know that I'm very excited about this, and I can't wait to start actually creating content for this. It just feels right. It feels more aligned, and it just feels like a resonance where it's just like, yes, this is what I want. So hopefully, wish me luck if you would. If you want to keep following me, again, I would love it. I don't know when I'm going to start launching the first episode or anything, or trailers or anything like that, but if you go to my website at theinterestedreader.com, you can contact me through there, or again, contact me through the email. If you're really interested, I can put you on an email list and let you know when I've launched. Or if you're super interested, you can just email me and ask me when. I guess when is it happening? Because I really don't know yet. I'm hoping that in the next month or so, I'll have things straightened out and be able to launch a couple episodes. And it should just be on the normal platforms. I think if you just search my name under, Spotify or Google, I don't know, Amazon. I think I'm gonna start with Podbean. I don't know if anyone's familiar with that, but they're supposed to be pretty decent for, podcast hosting anyway. So I'm gonna try that. So if you just search my name, I think you'll be able to see when I've launched the new podcast if you're interested in following. And again, I thank you guys for all your support, for sticking with me through the changes, through not actually getting the Cosmic Classroom up and running. Like I said, I was pretty excited at first, but it just, man, when I sat down to do the content for it, I did not want to do it. So I'm very excited about reinventing life after 40. And I hope you guys have had a good time with this. I hope I've provided some sort of value for you, that you've gotten something from these podcasts. I hope I've been able to help you in some way. Please reach out to me if you think that I can help you in any other way, anytime in the future. I just really appreciate everybody's support and the views, the comments, the likes, follows, subscribes, whatever you've done. I very much appreciate it. And you can still follow The Interested Reader. I still have the Facebook group. I don't do much with Instagram. I'm going to try to be checking my email more regularly now, but it will still be sarah@theinterestedreader.com if you want to email me. I haven't done much updates again with the website or anything with this, with this brand or this handle, but for now, that is where I will have all my stuff. Eventually, there'll probably be a new website and a new Facebook group, but that'll be down the road. So for now, if you want to contact me, just contact me through all the old channels. I will do my best to check up on them. I just have a lot of other stuff going on right now, and social media stuff tends to fall by the wayside. So, but reach out to me there. I will do my best to check that more regularly and get back to you. I thank you guys, and hopefully I will see you in the future if you want to keep following me. Thanks, guys. I love you guys. Bye.